Brix refractometers are built to measure the sucrose content of a sample through refraction. There is a wide range of designs, and all are capable of incredibly quick and accurate results. These meters excel in applications within the food and beverage industries. What is normal Brix value? A Brix value of 12 or higher indicates a healthy plant. For some fruits, the optimal value may be much higher. What are the benefits of Brix? Higher Brix levels in the plant reduce fungi growth. A high Brix lowers the freezing point in plants, making them more frost tolerant. Produce with high Brix levels will not rot and mold. In a season of lower temperatures and slower growth, increasing Brix in plants makes a whole lot of sense. Welcome to Suya e-learning for food security, climate change, school feeding program, nutrition education for all. When you have bad governance and poor accountability from your local government leaders, then you are doomed to live under control of cartels and fools. We hope you subscribe to our channel YouTube at Suya Mombasa and share this link with your friends or family. ADC Galana and Kulalu ranches. ADC acquired the ranch in 1989 from the previous owners, Galana Game and Trading Company Limited, who had been running since inception in 1968. From the time ADC took over, it has concentrated on beef ranching, and recently ecotourism activities have been started to supplement the ranching activities. Ecotourism activities include bird shooting, camps, sanctuary. In addition to breeding its own beef animals, the ranch has been involved in the purchase of steers for fattening from the neighboring districts. Work is underway in establishing Galana a disease-free zone for animals destined for export in conjunction with the Ministry of Livestock Development. Other activities include entering into joint ventures in conservation activities with communities, exploit potential of natural resources e.g. honey, minerals, and establishment of horticultural ventures. Eco-tourism has been enhanced to increase the income streams of the ranch. Causes of milligram deficiency and symptoms in plants. Since milligram has a large hydrated radius, it is weakly absorbed by highly weathered, acidic, and coarse soils. Therefore, these soils are found to be milligram deficit soils due to excess leaching of milligram nutrient, specifically in acidic soil with low cation exchange capacity. The deficiency of milligram can be attributed to heat stress, droughty soil, and high levels of competing elements, particularly calcium. What causes manganese deficiency in soil? Managing pests in gardens, trees and shrubs, disorders. It also occurs when plants grow in adverse soils, such as soil that is alkaline, high in pH, because high pH reduces manganese availability to roots. Manganese deficiency also occurs where soil is compacted or poorly drained, which causes aeration deficit and impedes roots' ability to take up nutrients.
Oil is the real wealth of the nation. On one hand, we are losing the quality of the soil, and on another, farmers are not putting their next generation into farming. This means in another 25 years, we are definitely headed for a major food crisis. When there is no water and food, the level of civil crisis that will happen will demolish the nation in many different ways. People from those rural areas where water completely runs out are going to migrate in large numbers into urban centers. This is not far away. With no infrastructure, they will sit on the streets. But for how long? When there is no food and water, they will break into homes. I am not some kind of a doomsayer, but in the next 8 to 10 years, you will see these situations unless we do something drastic right now.
Solutions to infections and attacks. Remember that these fungi and pests are attracted to plants with a low pH. Calcium, lime, soft carbon, and microbes for plant growth and soil health. Calcium is the insect's enemy. Young leaves have less calcium than spur leaves, so the aphids go after them. Eliminating pest and disease. Increase mineral uptake and balance with silicic acid. Raise the internal pH of the plant by providing more bioavailable forms of calcium and potassium. Increase the Brix level by providing absorbable L-amino acids and increasing mineralization within the plant. Cation exchange capacity, CEC, is a crucial soil property that measures the soil's ability to hold and exchange cations, which are positively charged ions. This capacity directly impacts soil fertility, as it determines how well essential nutrients such as calcium, magnesium, potassium, and sodium can be retained and made available to plants. High CEC soils can hold more cations, thus supporting better plant growth and agricultural productivity. Understanding CEC helps farmers and soil scientists optimize soil management practices, enhance crop yields, and maintain sustainable agricultural systems. This property is crucial because it affects the soil's capacity to supply essential nutrients to plants. Cations such as calcium, Ca², magnesium, mg², potassium, K, and sodium, Na, are vital for plant growth, and soils with higher CEC can hold more of these nutrients. Although all green plants make their food by photosynthesis, they also need to get nutrients from the soil. These dissolve in water and are taken up by the roots of the plant. The most important plant nutrients are nitrogen, N, phosphorus, P, and potassium, K. Plants get their nutrients from the soil, water, and air through their roots and leaves. Plants absorb nutrients from the soil through their roots, which have root hairs that increase the surface area for nutrient absorption. Plants also have a symbiotic relationship with mycorrhizal fungi, which live in the soil or within the plant and help roots absorb nutrients more efficiently. Why is magnesium important in agriculture? Magnesium acts as a phosphorus carrier in plants and is essential for phosphate metabolism. Furthermore, it is also needed for cell division and protein formation, activation of several enzyme systems, and is an essential component for plant respiration. What is the importance of magnesium in plant nutrition? Magnesium Mg is an essential nutrient for a wide array of fundamental physiological and biochemical processes in plants. It largely involves chlorophyll synthesis, production, transportation, and utilization of photoassimilates, enzyme activation, and protein synthesis. However, manganese is less mobile in a plant than magnesium, so that the symptoms of deficiency appear first on young leaves. It's always best to get a sample to determine the exact cause of the symptoms. Other problems such as iron deficiency, nematodes, and herbicide injury may also cause leaves to yellow. What does manganese do for plants? Role of manganese in plant culture. Manganese is used in plants as a major contributor to various biological systems including photosynthesis, respiration, and nitrogen assimilation. Manganese is also involved in pollen germination, pollen tube growth, root cell elongation, and resistance to root pathogens. Does magnesium increase plant growth? Magnesium for crop production. The role of magnesium in the soil. Magnesium is the central core of the chlorophyll molecule in plant tissue. Thus, if magnesium is deficient, the shortage of chlorophyll results in poor and stunted plant growth. Where is dolomite found in Kenya? Kajiado County in Kenya lies at the southern edge of the former Rift Valley province, about 80 kilometers from Nairobi. The county has a diverse topography ranging from volcanic hills and valleys to expansive plains. Among the major economic activities in Kajiado is quarrying, where we source our calcium carbonate, dolomite. What is the purpose of adding dolomite in soil? A basic ingredient of most potting mixes used in foliage plant production is peat, which tends to be acidic. Dolomite is added to growing medium to raise pH to the range of 5.5 to 6.5 and to supply plants with calcium and magnesium needed for healthy growth. Which plants like dolomite? Others need lime added to keep substrates like bark from rotting over time. These include orchids, African violets, Hoya, peperomia, kalanchoe, spider plants, ivy, tomatoes, apples, lemons, peppers, pears. What is the agricultural use of dolomite? Dolomite powder for agriculture industry. Dolomite powder in agriculture grade is used as a soil neutralizer, conditioner to correct acidity. It is also used as a filler in fertilizers. The main ingredient is calcium carbonate, which helps raise the pH of acidic soils and provides a good calcium source for plants. What is the difference between gypsum and dolomite? Dolomite, calcium magnesium carbonate similar to garden lime but slower acting. Also contains magnesium carbonate so good for trees like apples and pears. Gypsum, calcium sulfate. Great for acid-loving plants, like rhododendrons, as it adds calcium to ground without altering soil pH. Germinating seeds have a high zinc and phosphorus requirement, especially crops planted in zinc and phosphorus deficient areas, so this formulation is suited to many crops to help early establishment. Yora Vita Folia micronutrient fertilizers are developed to target the leaf or fruit and to deliver a specific nutrients exactly where and when the crop needs them, boosting crop performance by overcoming deficiencies. Soil electrical conductivity, referred to as EC, is the ability of soil to conduct, transmit, or attenuate electrical current. EC is expressed in millisiemens per meter, ms-sem, or at times is reported in decisiemens per meter, ds-sem. Over the years, soil scientists have used EC to measure soil salinity. What is a good electrical conductivity level in soil? Different plants have different suitable soil EC values according to the characteristics of fertilizer requirements and different growth stages. The optimal EC value for plant growth is usually between 0.8 to 1.8 and should not exceed 2.5. Once the test results are in, the mill will tell you how much lime you need to add per acre. In general, it takes 1.2 tons of agricultural lime per acre to raise the pH of a loam soil by 1 point. It is half that for sandy soil and almost double for clay soil. Sampling for assessment of lime requirements. Soil samples should be taken methodically from a number of places in the field and tested individually since acidity frequently occurs in patches in the field. Test results should be plotted on a field map so that any lime required may be applied in the right place and at the correct and most economic rate. Although poor and patchy crop performance and the presence of acid-loving weed species are rough indications of lime deficiency, the acid reaction to indicator solution or pH meter is the only reliable method of assessing lime requirements. A high analysis source of the micronutrient manganese, Mn. Manganese plays an essential role in photosynthesis and, when available in adequate amounts, can enhance stress tolerance. It is an activator for over 35 different enzymes and increases lignin biosynthesis, which can reduce attacks from soil-borne pathogens. Therefore, applications of manganese sulfate can be effective at improving disease resistance and help to activate important enzymatic processes for an overall higher functioning plant. Manganese sulfate is delivered in a highly soluble, 99.5% minimum, powdered format and contains a guaranteed minimum of 31.5% manganese and 18.5% sulfur. A single tool that can be utilized to predict yield, quality, pest and disease pressure, and stress resistance. The refractometer is an indispensable tool for nutrition farming. This simple, robust instrument can utilize just a couple of drops of sap or juice to provide valuable data for crop management. It measures Brix levels, total dissolved solids, which give an indication of plant sugars, minerals, and vitamin content. The link between high Brix levels and inherent pest and disease resistance has been conclusively established. Good Brix levels also ensure good taste, longer shelf life, and better yields. Brix readings before and after a fertilizer application can help determine the suitability of different inputs, e.g. if the Brix rises after 1 to 24 hours after application, then it can be considered suitable. If it stays the same or reduces, it would be considered not suitable at that time.
Up at 20 Brix is because it's virtually impossible in order to break 20 Brix on the leaf. It is not impossible on the fruit. There are lots of fruits that can be in the 20 region, so that's not uncommon at all. But for leaf Brix, it really doesn't go above 20. And so these 4 different categories are broken down so that people can understand how healthy a given plant is. The first category that I have is between 1 to 2 Brix. In the 1 to 2 Brix region, these are plants that are, of course, they're unhealthy. I think everyone knows that based upon what I've said thus far. But these plants would get picked off in nature. These are plants that do not survive in nature. They are unhealthy and they will get picked off by insects or disease, or they just will not be able to grow effectively. And so because of that, usually force feeding is necessary. You have to force feed these plants. They need nutrition, usually on a daily basis, in order to survive. Otherwise, they will die. And so that's the first category that we have seen. The second category is between about 3 to 7. 3 to 7 is where I find most of the crops that are grown in this country found. And so they're not doing great, but these plants do have a fighting chance. And a lot of these plants look okay. They don't look that bad. So if you go out into a field, you will see a lot of these 3 to 7 Brix plants that are doing all right, but sometimes they're being attacked by disease and by insects, and they're going to need some help. And so usually the farmers, for example, would be feeding them probably at least once a week, depending upon where they are in that region. The next region is about from 8 to 12. And in that region, at that point, health really starts to become evident. And the plant becomes so healthy that it actually develops a very good insect resistance. And a lot of insects will no longer be interested in a plant once it gets between about 8 to 12. And there are various insects that will literally fall off the plant or stop feeding when a plant is reaching 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12 Brix. This is what I call a sword and shield because the plant can defend itself very well against these pests if it is attacked, and sometimes it can be because it's not as high as it should be, but they've usually got some defenses and they can probably handle themselves pretty well. And then finally, the last category is 12 and up, where what I say is that food is now produced. Food meaning food that you can consume that will lead to a long, healthy life. So I'm not talking about snack food. That's food that fills the stomach. It's temporarily there, but as far as good, healthy food, you're going to want something which is going to be 12 and above. I prefer to tell people is that you really should be shooting for 14 Brix because there are some fluctuations at either the time of the day or sometimes during the season where the Brix can change easily 2 Brix at a time. And so if you're shooting for 14 Brix and you shoot down to 12, you're still going to be in good shape. but there are issues. Like if you're going into fruit production and your Brix levels are at 9, you're probably going to be in trouble, because a lot of that, even though that's a pretty good level, a lot of the sugar will be taken into the fruit, and then not that much will be left, and the tree will start to suffer unless it can pick up photosynthesis and do that. So usually we're looking for a good healthy tree as it goes into the reproductive phase. 14 is a good number to shoot for. Certainly it can get higher. There are lots of trees out there that are higher than 14 Brix, but if you're hitting 14, you're going to be in good shape as you go through. So those are the 4 categories of the chart that I had.
The leaf Brix chart I have constructed is broken down into both general categories as well as more specific levels. The general categories include: 1. Those plants between 0 and 2 Brix. 2. Those between 3 and 7 Brix. 3. Those between 8 and 11 Brix. And finally, 4. Those between 12 and 20 Brix. The role of sugar in Brix levels. Although Brix is a measurement of dissolved solids, for our purposes it is the measure of sugar in plant sap. Sugar is the main product of photosynthesis. The more a plant photosynthesizes, the more sugar is contained in its tissues, and the higher the leaf Brix readings. This sugar is produced in the leaves, and is not only stored in the leaves, but eventually descends to the roots as well. To be sure, these plants are struggling. They have enough inherent ability to get by and can even provide for their own basic needs, such as the production and storage of sugars. But they will not thrive. Size, health, and yield will all be compromised. When plants ascend the leaf Brix ladder and reach between 8 and 11 Brix, insects metaphorically fall off the plant because the plant has a sword and shield that protects itself from insect predators. As a general rule, and although exceptions occur, sucking insects will not tolerate 8 Brix or higher. Chewing insects that eat the roots or leaves directly, such as caterpillars, grasshoppers, and beetles, will start to lose interest in eating a plant once the plant reaches 10 or 11 Brix. Grasshopper group, 10 to 12 Brix. Higher than 12, the leaves are difficult to chew, are indigestible, and the hoppers lose interest. If Brix is too low, the leaf is too unhealthy even for them to survive, and they lose interest. Other chewing insects can chew on any part of the plant and at any life stage. While Brix is low, they leave the plant when the Brix gets between 9 to 11, whether in the roots, stem, leaf or flower. They can tolerate a higher Brix but lose that at about 11 and up. In the middle of feeding, they'll lose interest if you can get the Brix up over 12. While they will stay on the leaf, we observe they won't eat it and will starve. Sucking insects, these will lose interest in the plant when the leaf Brix is between 7 to 9. They will always be on the plant with a Brix lower than 9, but to attack the plant, it needs to be less than 7. Aphid and scale, they start to lose interest with Brix over 6. They are gone at 8. Calcium is the aphid's enemy. Young leaves have less calcium than spur leaves, so the aphids go after them. The change in calcium changes the taste. Quick, precise and instant sample. Place 2 or 3 drops on the prism, wait for a few seconds and get the measured value. Brix 0 to 32%, resolution, plus or minus 0.2%, fast and accurate measuring and no wasting solution. ATC Brix meter? When environment temperature changes, the sugar refractometer can automatic temperature compensation ATC 10 degrees Celsius tilde 30 degrees Celsius 50 degrees Fahrenheit tilde 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Don't worry, the fluctuate temp affect the measuring value. There will come a time when only those that know how to plant will be eating. Chief Oran Lions. If you like African food systems content, please subscribe and share our channel with your friends and family. Or if you're new here, hit the subscribe button so you make sure to never miss our weekly presentation podcast. Agriculture is tool to create health, wealth, shelter, protect environment, food, nutrition and basic skills development for our local communities. Cow dung microflora includes about 60 bacterial species dominating by Bacillus sp, Corynebacterium sp, Lactobacillus sp, few fungal sp, Aspergillus and Trichoderma, about 100 species of protozoa, nitrogen fixing, and 2 yeasts as well as plant growth promoting bacteria. Cow urine diluted with water in ratio of 1:20 and used as foliar spray is not only effective in the management of pathogens and insects, but also acts as effective growth promoter for the crop. For the proper decomposition of the manure or organic material in a biodigester unit, a minimum retention time is crucial. Retention, or turnover time as it is sometimes called, is the time period required for the manure to be in the biodigester unit before it is completely decomposed and the maximum amount of gas produced. In Belize, with an average annual high temperature of 77 degrees Fahrenheit, a retention period of at least 50 days is necessary.
Procedure for mass multiplication of waste decomposer. The waste decomposer could be mass multiplied by a simple technique that is practically applicable to the farmers. This protocol is standardized by Krishan Chandra in 2015. Take 2 kilograms jaggery and mix it in a plastic drum containing 200 liters of water. Then take 1 bottle of decomposer, 30 grams, and pour all its contents in a plastic drum of 200 liters containing jaggery solution. Avoid direct contact of contents with hands. Mix it properly with a wooden stick for uniform distribution of waste decomposer in the drum. Cover the drum with a paper or cardboard and stir it every day once or twice. After 5 days, the solution of the drum turns creamy. The farmers could prepare the waste decomposer solution again and again from the mother culture solution by the addition of 20 liters of waste decomposer solution into a drum with 2 kilograms of jaggery and 200 liters of water. So, again it would be ready in 7 days.
The bacillus fungus present in bioenzyme is not harmful in any way to humans or animals. It is a harmless spore and is present both in soil and in the environment. The bacillus used in bioenzyme is a single-celled bacteria species, prokaryotic, which means that it cannot interact with the environment. It is particularly well suited to cleaning applications as a consequence of being safe and easy to handle and is not too fussy about what it eats. Don't be fooled to think that because enzymes are natural they are less effective than chemical cleaners. Enzymes are nature's very own powerful cleaning tools, making them the go-to choice for people who do not want to spray harmful chemicals around their children, pets or home. Enzymes are all around us, performing millions of important tasks in our bodies and in nature every single day. They are a type of protein that act like a biological catalyst to speed up the breakdown of organic compounds. Bioenzymes have gained a lot of popularity in the recent years as they are organic cleaning solutions that are produced by the fermentation of citrus fruits, jaggery and water. The organic solution comprises good bacteria, which produces enzymes to digest wastes, stains, soils and malodors. During the process of fermentation, the bacteria attacks the stains to break down the molecules into smaller particles so that it becomes food for the bacteria and finally gets converted into carbon dioxide and water. Benefits: bioenzymatic cleaners encourage sustainable living and are safe for the environment. The microorganisms can penetrate small crevices and cracks to eliminate stains which conventional chemical cleaners cannot. They are affordable in comparison to the toxic chemical cleaners that are available in the market. They encourage a zero-waste lifestyle as it is a sustainable way to clean the home. The cleaners do not pollute the lakes and underground water. You can also use papaya peels, grapes, banana peels, pineapple peels. The resulting bioenzyme may not be as pleasant as the citrus bioenzyme for cleaning. However, it can be used as a liquid fertilizer for your plants after dilution. Diluted 150 for roots on 1:100 as a foliar spray. The phytochemical test of bioenzyme revealed the presence of secondary metabolites like alkaloids, flavonoids, tannins, quinones, saponins, and cardinalides in them, which are known for their antibacterial, antifungal, antiviral, anti-inflammatory, antifeedant, insecticidal, and foaming properties. Citrus and pineapple bioenzymes were found effective for use as cleaning agent, while banana and neem bioenzymes were found effective for use as natural fertilizers. Neem bioenzymes also showed positive results when used as a natural pesticides. The juice from fresh moringa leaves can be used to produce an effective plant growth hormone, increasing yields by 25% to 30% for nearly any crop: onions, bell pepper, soya, maize, sorghum, coffee, tea, chili, melon. Add 1 tablespoon of moringa powder and add to a little water and mix in a blender. If using as a foliar spray, you will need to strain through a cloth, or it will block your sprayer. Add to 3 liters of water and you have a liquid moringa fertilizer. Brix levels are what you need to know about if your plants are looking a little wilted. It's the measure of how much sugar is in the plant sap, and it can be raised by adding nitrogen-rich fertilizer, watering more often, pruning out dead branches or leaves, and removing any weeds that could be taking up water. You'll also want to make sure there is enough potassium in the soil for strong root growth. This will help with drought tolerance. So, what does Brix stand for? Brix, symbol degree Bx, stands for Boiling Relative Intensity Index, which is the sugar content of an aqueous solution. This means that if your plants have low Brix levels, then they're not getting enough nutrition from their roots. Dextrose, glucose, which happens to be the active ingredient in most multivitamins. You can use this Brix chart when making your own homemade multi-vitamin out of pure 100% dextrose powder. Just mix with water. Lab is very effective at improving pore space in soil ventilation. Lab increases the solubility of fertilizer. Lab can directly promote plant growth or seed germination, as well as alleviating various abiotic stresses, as well to increase white roots of crop. What are the symptoms of NPK deficiency? Small and pale leaves, yellowing eclerosis. The bottom leaves may appear burned and die prematurely, meanwhile the upper leaves of the plant remain green, sometimes confused with lack of moisture, growth and potassium in your plants. Acid rain is caused by the release of sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxides into the atmosphere, where they react with water, oxygen, and other chemicals to become sulfuric and nitric acid respectively. The pH of acid-impacted rain is generally below 4.5 on the pH scale. Soils become alkaline for a variety of reasons. They may be located on very dry land and/or in areas with little rainfall. The alkalinity might be caused by the nature of the soil itself, or as a result of receiving water that contains highly alkaline substances, i.e. calcium or magnesium carbonate. Most soils have pH values between 3.5 and 10. In higher rainfall areas, the natural pH of soils typically ranges from 5 to 7, while in drier areas the range is 6.5 to 9. Soils can be classified according to their pH value, 6.5 to 7.5, neutral. What is the relationship between soil pH and water pH? The pH of soil can change depending on the soil-to-water ratio, with higher ratios resulting in lower pH values. The pH of soil changes with the soil-to-water ratio, but the commonly measured pH may not reflect the long-term soil solution pH. How do you determine the pH of soil and water? How do we measure pH? In the lab, the pH of a soil solution is usually measured with a glass electrode. The soil sample is prepared with either water or dilute salt solution, as the electrode only measures acidity in solution rather than H+ ions held on the soil surface. Observations about pH. 1. Certain nitrogen-fixing microbes won't live if pH is less than 5.8. 2. Pesticide usage may be reduced if water mixture pH is less than 6.8. 3. Herbicide usage can be reduced by correcting spray pH. 4. Soil pH profiles can be indicative of soil compaction. 5. Early growth plants will respond to alkaline sprays, i.e. pH 7. 7.4. Later in the season, fruit, root, or seed-producing folia require acid pH 6.4 or lower. 6. Rainwater in equilibrium with carbon dioxide will have a pH of 5.6. Acid rain has been recorded as low as pH of 3.0. 7. Drying a soil at a temperature above field conditions will increase soil acidity. During later part of season, organic acids produced by microbes will be at a higher concentration. To raise soil pH, use the following alkaline substances diluted in water: KOH, CaOH2, baking soda, NH4OH, CaCO3. To lower soil pH, use the following acidifying substances diluted in water: vinegar, acetic acid, citric acid, ascorbic acid, phosphoric acid, sulfuric acid. Well-structured soils with good aeration and water infiltration facilitate optimal root growth, ensuring that plants can access both nutrients and water essential for their development. Conversely, compacted or poorly aerated soils can hinder root expansion, leading to stunted growth and diminished crop yields. What are the soil factors affecting root growth? Roots are dynamic and their growth is strongly affected by the environmental conditions found in the root zone. To survive and grow, they need air, gas exchange, water, non-limiting temperature, carbohydrates, minerals, space, low soil density, microbial associations, and non-toxic soil chemistry. Total dissolved solids, TDS, are the amount of organic and inorganic materials, such as metals, minerals, salts, and ions, dissolved in a particular volume of water. TDS are essentially a measure of anything dissolved in water that is not an H2O molecule. TDS in water can come from just about anywhere, including natural water springs, chemicals used to treat the municipal water supply, runoff from roads and yards, and even from your home plumbing system. Nutrients from plant foods or other foods that take longer to digest, such as corn or meat, are less bioavailable than nutrients in foods with less complex tissue structures. Foods of this type must be broken down or cooked in order for certain micronutrients to be available for absorption. How bioavailable are nutrients in plants? Plant sources of certain nutrients have a significantly lower quantity and bioavailability compared with animal-derived foods. Many factors can affect nutrient bioavailability, including the presence of antinutrients, cooking and processing methods, host factors, and nutrient-nutrient interactions. Aqueous solutions of acids are electrolytes, meaning that they conduct an electrical current. Some acids are strong electrolytes because they ionize completely in water, yielding a great many ions. Other acids are weak electrolytes that exist primarily in a non-ionized form when dissolved in water. Acids have a sour taste. Lemons, vinegar, and sour candies all contain acids. Acids change the color of certain acid-base indicators. Two common indicators are litmus and phenolphthalein. Blue litmus turns red in the presence of an acid, while phenolphthalein turns colorless. Acids react with active metals to yield hydrogen gas. Recall that an activity series is a list of metals in descending order of reactivity. Metals that are above hydrogen in the activity series will replace the hydrogen from an acid in a single replacement reaction, as shown below. Dry yeast comes in two forms, active and instant. Active describes any dry yeast that needs to be activated prior to use, while instant dry yeast describes any dry yeast that's ready for use the instant you open the package. Active dry yeast needs to be dissolved in water before using, while instant yeast can be mixed right into dry ingredients. 100 grams of yeast and 100 grams of jaggery in 2 liters of warm water. Add after 30 minutes. Rapid multiplications.
7 important reasons for using amino acids. Amino acids help photosynthesis. Amino acids help increase nutrient absorption. Amino acids reduce stress-related problems. Amino acids support plant hormones. Amino acids help improve microbial activity. Amino acids are a source of nitrogen. Amino acids increase calcium absorption. Fertilizing with amino acids helps in optimal flowering in plants by influencing several key physiological and biochemical processes. They act as precursors in the synthesis of floral hormones and in the regulation of the formation and development of floral structures. About plant nutrition. The yeast source organic fertilizer has the advantages of being nutritional, efficient, environmental friendly, soil improving, etc., and it is suitable for the application of high added value agricultural products, animal husbandry and economic crops. Angel is the founder of Yeast Source Organic Fertilizer, and the products all have passed through the EU Organic Certification and China Organic Certification.
There will come a time when only those that know how to plant will be eating. Chief Oran Lions. If you like African food systems content, please subscribe and share our channel with your friends and family, or if you're new here, hit the subscribe button so you make sure to never miss our weekly presentation podcast. Agriculture is tool to create health, wealth, shelter, protect environment, food, nutrition and basic skills development for our local communities.